Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with Sydney, and some of you have texted or emailed saying you wanted to hear more from Sydney. And we have such a dark house, and so we had to sit
Let's go closer to the window.
into the lightest room we have. We're on the
It's
floor.
still dark.
I know.
Oh, I look pale.
Oh, is that lamp on over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't even make a difference.
Okay. So, we were just talking before we clicked this on about Dad.
About Dad.
And not liking your tattoos.
Yeah, I just got 2 new tattoos. I'll show you. I got this one on my arm. It means faith, hope, and love. And then I have one on the back of my leg.
Can we see it?
It means God is greater than the highs and lows, and it has some mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, so he likes my leg one, and then I came home, I got this one on Saturday, and I came home and showed him on Sunday morning, and he did not seem too excited.
Mm-mm.
He said,
What'd he tell you?
he said, oh, well, I like the meaning. And I said, well, that's a nice way of saying you don't like it. And he said, I never said that. And so I went upstairs to the bathroom to get ready, and he came and knocked on the door. Well, I didn't see it in the light, and put on his glasses and still was like, oh, I like the meaning. And then he told me, no more tattoos for a year. And so I'm like, okay, clearly you don't like it. Like,
and she's 19. Like, really, does he have any say?
that's what I was so confused.
Sid, no more tattoos for a year. But she got the one on the calf, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And then the one on the arm just like a week ago. So she's finding they're quite addictive. You know, I have one tattoo on my back, and people have said, oh, they're so addictive. Once you get one, you're going to want another. I don't have that desire. So it didn't work for me, but it happens with wigs. I get a wig and makes me want to buy another one.
But
so
I'm not going to cover my body in tattoos. Like, they have to mean something to me. It's not like I'm going to just go get a rose somewhere up my arm. Like, this means I've always liked this design on my arm.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about this one on my leg for a very long time.
And then, okay, what's cool about the one on your leg is it's like the verse we have on Tyler's headstone, Romans 8:38 through 39.
Mm-hmm.
How God's love is greater than the highs and lows, basically.
Yeah.
Like, Tyler's anxiety and his depression, God loves him still,
Yeah.
And so until after Sid got that tattoo, we kind of figured that out. We're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, and it just made the tattoo even more meaningful, because it was already meaningful.
Right,
And then this one, I like to think of it as the cross is like the beginning, and what Jesus did on the cross and dying for our sins. Then this is life, like we go through life and the ups and the downs, and then there's eternal love, like in the end, and we just have everlasting life. And so it's like the timeline on my arm, and I really like it.
I like it. It looks like a bracelet too. I think it's cool.
I was actually surprised you liked it and Dad didn't. I thought it would be the other way around.
What? You thought I wouldn't?
Yeah, because you can see it in a wedding dress.
It's becoming that way. Like gauges and tats, everybody has them now.
Accepting in like job
acceptable.
settings and
Yeah.
stuff.
So why we're on here is people have really been curious about how you're feeling about Tyler, and I know that sometimes you don't really talk to me very much about it, but I know we just had a talk in the kitchen about it, and I'm not meaning to put you on the spot, but just like how a sibling feels. Sydney and Tyler were how many months apart? 21?
Yeah, 21.
Not quite 2 years apart, and they were best friends. They would talk every day.
He would call me or text me or Snapchat me every day and just say, hey Sid, I miss you, or how are you, or he'd randomly text me, I'm proud of you. So I actually got this ring because on a birthday post in October, my birthday, he said, his comment said, I'm proud of you and I miss you every day. And so I got it engraved on this ring. On the inside it says, I'm proud of you. Then on the outside it says, I miss you every day. And so, yeah, we were really close. Always went to get Dutch Bros together. We'd go on hikes, runs, He's a lot faster than me, but we just, whenever he came down to visit, so before he left, we would do everything together. We went to school together, and he would drive me every morning for 2 years, and I would leave my Hot Pocket wrapper in his car, and he didn't get mad. He actually dedicated a spot in his car to my Hot Pocket garbage and called it the Hot Pocket Pocket. I was surprised he didn't get mad at that, but
And he loved his car so much.
he loved his car. That was his pride and joy. And then when he left for college, I cried for about a week because he wasn't around the house anymore, and so that was really hard. And then I got used to him being gone, and so that's when he would call and text all the time and Snapchat. And then he came down for a visit and surprised me once, and so that was cool. He surprised me at school, and I saw him in the hall, and I was like, oh, that's not Ty, whatever. And then I turned around, and it was actually him.
And didn't he go see the teachers? And
Yeah.
everyone loved Tyler.
Everybody
Like,
loved Tyler.
he was so charismatic, and it's like Sydney was the quiet one, and they just went
They didn't
gaga
even-
over Tyler.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you're Tyler's
Sister.
sister. Oh, I love Tyler. And I'm like,
Hey,
Okay.
my chopped liver.
in middle school, it was like that.
Mm-hmm.
And in all of high school. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
okay. Even teachers that didn't have Tyler were like, oh, you're Tyler Steen's sister. You're right, but I'm also Sydney.
Yeah, you have your own
I have
identity.
a name.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
been hard. And then before he died, like the day he left, didn't he come in and say goodbye to you? And
Yeah, so I thought that he was leaving in the morning, and I had set my alarm to wake up, but I missed it. And so when I did wake up, I went out and I didn't see his stuff out here, so I thought that he left. And so I was sad and went back in my room, and then like 5 minutes later he poked his head in my room and said, "I'm leaving." And I was like, "Oh, Ty, I thought you already left." And he said, "Oh, Sid, I'd never leave without saying goodbye." And the last thing he said to me was, he gave me a hug and said, "I'll see you spring break."
yeah, so he had
So-
every intention of coming home last week, and 2 days later he was gone. Like we had no idea.
Yeah, it was not expected at all. And he was fine.
Yeah, when you were together
The
that
last 2 weeks.
week,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Took him
like-
I spent $20 on dinner, and I almost didn't.
Aren't you glad you paid
I'm
for
so
his dinner?
glad.
Yeah,
I'm so glad. And I bought his Dutch. He came with like no money.
yeah,
Of
he
course.
always
He never
does
had
because
money.
he knows we
And
pay
he
for
knows,
everything.
yeah, he knows that I drive and I'll buy him Dutch. And
Uh-huh. Yeah, right. That was
So-
Ty for you, you know.
Yep.
He just was. Everyone loved Ty, like, and
Yeah.
he just was like, well,
he'd find a
he'd
ride
figure
here.
it out, you know.
He'd find a ride here, so he didn't have to
Mhm.
pay for gas.
But I don't think
Come
it's
with
because he was being. I think that they were like, "Hey, we're going to Idaho. You want to join?" He's like,
He's like,
"Sure."
well, sure.
You
I'll
know,
come
so
with
he
no
just
money. And...
throw a couple things in a bag and go.
But he would pack a bag, but he'd wear the same outfit
know.
every day. That
Weird.
was just Ty.
It's just weird. Yeah, Tyler.
But yeah, it was a really good visit the last
Mhm.
2 weeks, and super,
Mhm.
super sweet, and
Mm-hmm. I agree.
yeah.
So the day the coroner came, it was just you and me at home. What were you feeling? Because you were upstairs in the bathroom getting ready.
Yeah. Well, I heard the doorbell. Mom and I were you and I were
Mhm.
laughing. It was a good morning,
Mm-hmm.
and we were both getting ready for work, and heard somebody at the door at 8. So that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then you said something about a badge. You were like, "Oh, they have a badge," and thinking it was a cop.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, you opened the door, and I went back in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or no, I was at the top of the stairs looking down, and she said, "Oh, does Mike Steen live here?" And I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And I still didn't know it was the coroner at that time. And so then she said that Tyler had died, and I was like, "What?"
Did
And
you
so
hear that, or did I yell that up to you?
I heard it, and then you yelled it up to me.
Yeah. And what
Um,
did you feel? What was your
I
feelings?
started yelling
like
at
what?
the coroner.
What did you say? I don't even remember. was so
I
out of
started
it.
yelling. I was like, "No, no, no!" And I walked down. I said, "No, he didn't." I was like, "My brother just left. He's in Oregon."
Yeah.
And she
Wow.
said, "Tyler Steen in Willamina And she said, and he lived at the fire station. And I said, and I just kept shaking my head. I was like, you have the wrong Tyler.
I don't even remember you saying that.
I was yelling at her.
I just
felt
remember
really bad,
telling you to call Dad, call Dad.
Yeah, so then I had to call Dad and tell him. So that was kind of hard.
Yeah, I was a mess.
Yeah, and so then he came and we were all just angry. I kind of got a little upset with my mom because it was just my emotions.
And what were you upset about? You can go ahead and say it.
Because my dad walked in and she started screaming at him. And I was upset because he didn't do anything. He just walked in after learning that he lost his son. And Mom started screaming at him. And so I was upset with her. And I started trying to cover her mouth. She was yelling and I was like covering her mouth.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. But
death can do some crazy things to people.
I know.
So City's been in counseling and had a few friends to talk to, but you were talking that what frustrates you most is that people are asking how Dad and I are doing more than you.
My friends and my coworkers text me, "How are your parents doing?" Well, can you ask me how I'm doing?
Yeah, it's like they're forgetting she has the pain too.
I don't really like to talk about how I'm feeling. I'm more of I just hold everything in, which isn't good, but I'm a private crier too. I don't like to cry in front of people. And so that was hard when we had all the family here and I would go into my room to cry and everybody would come in and be like, "I don't want you to be alone." And I'm like, I need this time alone to just cry.
Yeah.
But yeah, all my friends just, "How are your parents?" And that kind of upsets me, but you know, I'm not doing too bad. It's definitely harder than it was. The shock has worn off, but I don't think I told you this, but a month and a half ago, I came home to that book that you made of all of Tyler's pictures that you sent all the sisters, and there was that one of Ty holding me as a baby, and I immediately I was crying and I came and walked up the stairs and I just collapsed on the stairs.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
And then, so that was the day that I went to dinner with Mrs. Korlewski. It was not until 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Well, at least you had her to talk to, but yeah. Wow, honey, so it just hits you.
And then at school, or not at school, at work, I'll see, because I work in the high schools, and so I always see, like, all these suicide prevention signs, and it just reminds me, like, I never thought that I would know somebody, or somebody as close to me as Ty, and that would commit suicide. And it was always just one of those things like, oh yeah, you know, just brush it off the shoulder, because it never happened to me, which I shouldn't have been like that. But then, I mean, you never think that it's going to happen to you, and then it does. And so and then some people will make comments about suicide and we'll just laugh, and I'm like, wow, that was insensitive, especially since you know that 3 months ago, and
they don't realize it. Yeah, I have that happen to me too.
But,
in fact, it happened today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's just so it's just those little things that trigger it. And so I went back to work pretty quick.
Yeah, you did.
I took a week off, and I got 2 weeks off from my classes.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I went back to work sooner, just to get into the flow of things again.
You've been handling it really well, honey. I love you, and everybody wanted to know. And so I thought I better get you on here.
I have my good days, and then I have my moments. I haven't had like a really bad all day thing. It's where I've laid in bed or anything. It just hits me for a little bit, and then but I was in Texas last week, so that was really fun.
She had a good time over spring break when Tyler was supposed to have been here. Took her mind off it.
So that made it better.
Yeah. All right. Well, we better go, because I think we're up to 15 minutes, and I don't know if it records past 15. So
okay.
Love you. Bye.